Welcome back, gamers. This is SKS with Grant Lee Sherman, Civil War Generals 2. It's been a long time coming, but it's been time to start this. I thought, as your glorious historian, that I would actually bring you in today on this kind of part 2 of introduction, and we would go through what a lot of the things mean on the game. So instead of going here to the campaigns, because we will start this, and I will not do individual campaigns, I will actually click on the Civil War. Every battle in both theaters is linked and cross-linked with intricate fashion. Your performance in each battle will determine where your army must fight next, usually automatically, although sometimes you will face important choices. I'm still waiting to see which side you pick, either the South, the Rebels, or the North, the Americans. We have the Union and the Confederate. There is a poll up on the Voltron Army forums. I will post the link down below. Some of the options I will do, I'll probably bump this up to intermediate, but I will put line of sight and line of fire on probably. No time limit. I'll mess with the screens, but I will have random selection music. I will always show combat report, and everything else will turn on. So that would be what we'll do. Alright, gamers, a little hiccup there in the recording. My actual recorder crashed, but today we're not going to do the campaign. We're actually going to do a battle, because that is where you find the tutorial. We are going to be the South in the tutorial. Normally when you pick a battle, like here to say the Rebels, blah blah blah, it tells you all this different stuff, and you can do alternate battles, which come into play during, if say you win a battle you shouldn't have. Say South wins Gettysburg, you would probably go up here to Gettysburg, and you could have alternate Gettysburg battles. Well, you don't have to go over there, but let's see here. Yes, Gettysburg, alternate 4. Until nearly 170,000 soldiers were involved, and smoke cleared. Lee had lost a third. Let's see. Well, you start out with different numbers of troops on those. Obviously, my video is turning out wonderful trying to explain this to you. But let's go to the tutorial. We will be the South. Options are everything we talked about before. I did turn video clips off because I do not want to waste those. They add more to the campaign. So let's actually go to the map. Tutorial walkthrough scenario. I'm supposed to have the instruction booklet here, but I'm not. Usually there's something always here telling you about the battle and a little bit of history about it. Over here you'll have the Confederate Army Commander, which is General D. Gagne. And then down here we have the Union, which is General K. Parker. Now this is a tutorial, so it's nothing super realistic or anything that's like crazy. You have the small map of the battlefield. You'll see where starting units are. So we'll go ahead and hit start, and we are at the map, and you're going to notice a lot of stuff here at once. It's crazy. This is a 6-turn tutorial battle, so it's going to be fairly short. It is our turn, so we'll hit OK. The thing you have to remember here is right-click selects units. Yes, left-click moves them. If you right-click other things, it will tell you about what they do there. So I'm just going to kind of go down the line, and let's kick the menu on here. And usually you can declare a victory when you get a lot of points, but that's iffy sometimes because it won't let you do that. First things first, you can go to the officer's report and go to the command tent. Now we'll be using this quite a bit when we're in the game. You can look at your objectives, and it takes you back here and tells you what you're supposed to do in the battle. But we don't really have to worry about that right now. But we can look at the reinforcements report, and you can hit this, and it will just tell you who is coming on certain days and who will be there. We don't have to worry about that in the tutorial. If we scroll on through, we can look at the casualty report. This will tell you men killed, wounded, your leaders that's been killed and wounded, deserted, surrendered, supply captured. That will be very important. The weapon cost captured, because that will allow you to purchase weapons in between each battle. The value controlled victory hexes. The Union has 250. Victory points, they have 300. We need to get all of those over here to win the tutorial. And when I said the weapons catch, welcome to the Armory General. The lower left 3 portraits show the Army structure. Review your units with the brigade window, either by following the chain of command shown in the first 2 windows or by using the buttons above the portraits. Pretty much what this explains, and you can read that if you want, is how to purchase upgrades for your infantry and your artillery and your cavalry. You can click on that and it will tell you how much money you have. You have to use supply points and different things. Like in this case, you can click here and it tells you different people and different units. You can cycle through your cavalry, your excuse me, your artillery, your scouts, snipers, but different things that tell you, this is your army supply, here is your purchase, this is how much it would cost. So if we did that, we would get 50,000. Since right now we have this weapon, say we wanted to upgrade, we're 3750 short. You want to go on up here, we're 31,000 short. So we'll be dealing with that more in the campaign. So let's go ahead and get out of here, so we won't have to worry about that, and we'll return to the game. Alright, so some other things that are very helpful. That was the officer data. You could zoom in and zoom out. Things that we'll be using is everything pretty much here on this window. I mean, unit firepower, things like that. You want to know your firepower so that when you attack an enemy, see, they have a firepower of 12. This group here is a firepower of 16, probably the only ones that could actually go up against them. And since I've got this screen pulled up, well, I'll keep going through these. I'll come back to that, gamers. We can turn that off, and you can look at their natural cover, how much cover they have being somewhere.
No, sir.
And all this stuff plays into role. Oops, didn't want to do that. Movement max, it tells you their maximum moves, where they can go to. You could tell that also by, when you click on them, where they can go. Unit morale level. Morale plays a very, like, they have a morale 90 here in the town. That's an issue. You'd want to weaken them down a little bit. Our guys do not have that high of morale, even though they are kind of up in the 70s. That's a good morale to have. Prepared cover. Again, this is when you dig in, which we'll use the dig in and resupply key. We're not quite there yet, so we'll worry about that also later. Movement remaining, again, that tells you how far they can go. Terrain morale boost, that just tells you wherever you're at, what kind of morale that they get. Terrain height, this is a very important one, gamers, because height wins battles, especially with your artillery. If my artillery's down here on the 4, it's going to be hard pressed for them to shoot up here to the 7 or even the 6s. But if they're up here on the 6, they can rain down here on the 4. And I'm going to hex numbers is nothing big. If you played any game, it's just a bunch of numbers. Nobody cares about that. This one is the important one, victory points. Here's what you have to worry about. Since we're the Confederate in this tutorial, this 50 is how much this is worth to us. So it's only worth 50 points if we keep it. That's good, but if the Union captures it, they get 250. As opposed to Kernstown, which is the objective in this tutorial, it's worth 250 on both sides. So if the battle ended right now, they would have 250 points, and we would only have 50. Our objective is to take Kernstown so that we can gain more victory points. Alright, so that covers kind of the basics of the reports up there. Just to go on more, there's other things here. You can pause and look over those. It's just normal. I'll use shortcut keys when possible. We can do the victory point locations, and it actually shows you here on the map, which that will help on larger maps. The ready units will do the same thing. Reinforcement areas, it shows you if they had one, where they come from, because that will be different. Officer reports. There is a hospital report. If one of your guys is shot, you can go there and check and see if they're okay. That will happen quite a bit, gamers. So we have to be kind of careful with that. Okay, let's get down to business. The command's down here at the bottom. We have dig in, Well, that's where they'll prepare. If you're wanting to start up trenches, you can do that. We have rest and resupply. If you're just wanting to resupply a unit, you do that. Change formation. Here in a minute you'll realize that when I move a soldier, like right now, they're all in march formation. Well, and the cavalry is mounted. And the artillery cannot fire because they are in the position to move. You will have to change their formation so that they can do that. The command 10 is exactly what I showed you up here. It's the Control C command. And then menu, we already covered that. Alright. What we have here on the information panel, which if I click on a guy down here, we'll have information on both units. So if I switch it to this one, it will show a little bit different. Okay, so here's what we have to do. And again, the more I look at this with their numbers, I don't know if we can push them back, but we'll see. I could have picked the wrong side totally on the tutorial. But what matters is you look at their data, and you'll see that Cockerell here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 swords, and it's the same on the other side. So they're about even commanders. You can look at their ratings. Influence 70, organization 72, loyalty 72, and their health. The health will change whether they get shot or not, and it shows he's a colonel and he's a brigadier general. So that handles that. This right here is their movement points remaining. This is their unit supply points and their firepower. Now we have a greater firepower even though we have less men. But other things that are very important in this is you have the unit's organization. The higher this green bar, the more organized they are. We have the unit's health, which this is how beat up they are, and you'll notice that here in a minute we'll have groups that are beat the snot up and they'll look like they're losing legs and things. And we have the unit's morale. You want to keep this as high as possible so that you can do well. And then here you have the unit type. What you need to know about these colors is the green is, well, this is the number right here of men that will fight. The green is the percentage of the men alive and fighting. Then the yellow, or this light green, is the percentage of original men that are alive but not fighting. And then if you have red bars, that's the percent of original men dead. And you're probably asking, well, how do you know what the original men is? Well, you look at this, and you just left click here and it changes overs, and it tells you what division they're in. It tells you their weapon. It will tell you the statistics on the weapon, which is weapon power 65, and their hand-to-hand fighting. Hand-to-hand fighting played a great deal in the Civil War. You'll find that out as the game goes on. But right here we have an infield musket. Go down, you also have the organization health. It takes these numbers here and actually puts them into number format. You have the quality of the men and the experience. So if these guys went head to head, they're about equal quality, and we have a little bit more experience. Now the difference is we started with 1,250 men. We still have 1,250 men. So right now only 870 are poised to fight. I'm not sure why that is. And out of 1,500 they have 1,044 ready to fight. You look down here and the MP is the movement points, the supply points, and the firepower. That's what's across the bottom there, which is listed right here. So it's just some of the information over on the same. You have the terrain here that tells you exactly what the terrain is. You can right click and find out the terrain effects. It's just different depending on what you have, like the musketoon here, you know, they have 60 hand-to-hand, which is going to be totally different because, well, they're used to being on horseback. They're not going to have a good hand-to-hand fighting weapon. Alright, and their firepower is very low because they are mounted. If you unmount them, you'll see that change. Let's see, the only other thing I need to show you is this tells you what turn it is. This tells you where this person is. This tells where their terrain is. You can click on these guys. And here we have Pemberton's Corps. And what these guys do is they help the effectiveness of surrounding units. And you can see he has a different weapon because it is a command unit. And when unmounted, they will give like bonuses and stuff and help you. My advice is to use them more or less for scouting purposes. Alright, so let's see how bad that I can get whooped up here. And we'll see what happens. Alright, now the first thing we want to do is we'll move our guys up a little bit so they can get a good sout, and we'll actually unmount them. And you see that he's set up now. His line of sight did change. That's not good. But let's move our our artillery up, excuse me, and we will get them ready, which I do have the speed on fast. I can slow that down by going to File and Options and slow that down just a little bit, and they'll be a little different. But here's where you want to look at the terrain height. And like I said, I'm just doing this episode as something to give you all a little insight in this. We want to keep them on the 6 so they can rain down. So we'll move them one more. And then we'll have to wait till next turn to undo those, but we'll get them ready to fire down on Kernstown. Alright, so we'll leave them alone. And we can see where they shoot from, or excuse me. Let's get the report here. Turn terrain height off. And let's see, if we targeted them, we'll see if they got an actual shot, and probably not. Alright, so let's take our little infantry here. And I'm actually going to, or this isn't infantry, this is a sniper, this is a scout unit, excuse me. They have the Whitworth sniper rifles. Look at that, 92 shooting ability, but very weak hand-to-hand. So you want these guys to shoot from a distance, not be up close. And actually you can see Specialist and Forest. They're a specialist unit, same thing as what I said before, scout, sniper. So let's move them on up. And actually, I'm pretty sure they cannot fire, so no. So we'll leave them right there, probably out in the open. And let's move our big guys up. I think I'll actually put them over here on the hill, because I know I can't get them close enough yet. And I'm actually going to take our cavalry around back and see what they can do. I didn't want them to go that way, but that might work. Alright, so we'll move them one more across the stream and see if they can get a sight. Okay, so we've exhausted all of our turns. Again, I'm not really trying here. I'm just showing you what the different movements are and what they'll do, and just give you an insight. So we'll hit the turn button and see what the Unions moved their infantry out a little bit. And they exposed Kernstown, which I'm not sure why. They might be worried about our infantry coming around back, so there's probably something they need to get protected. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 1st Cockerel's Brigade, and we're going to change their formation and get them in fighting stance. And you'll notice their points changed, and we'll actually move them up. But I'm not going to take them off the high ground just yet, because we don't know what's over there. Let's take the scouts, and we'll move them up and see what we can spot. So we'll put them here in the tower. See, I tried to attack from... Sir, there is no chance of attacking that enemy. Time is too short, they are too far away, and the countryside is unforgiving. So that's the message you get if you try to attack when you cannot. Alright, so let's set up our... We put them in fighting, and we actually... I don't know if we'll have enough hit points to rain down on them, but we can try. Nope. Alright, so we'll have to wait till next turn. These guys are okay. We're going to have them dig in and oversupply. And, oh, see, our line of sight is opened up. We have the commander over here and artillery. If I right-click that, they have a firepower of 5. But the thing is, you have to remember that is artillery, so we might have a chance to sweep down on them and hurt them. And this is where you want to look at your terrain height as well, because if they were right here, we would not want to attack uphill. But this gives us an opportunity to go up here on level terrain and attack them. Sometimes it's just common sense on what to do. Now again, if you dismount cavalry, they'll have a better firepower and a better ability to shoot. But I don't know if we have time now, so let's go up here and let's see what kind of bonuses we get. Alright. So here's what happens when you attack. Firepower, -1, -1. Casualties, we lost 21, they lost 3. So again, I should have dismounted them and attacked. Normally I would, but I was in a hurry. And that screen passed, so you'll have to look at that very quickly. I wonder if there's a way to leave that up there longer, but I don't know. We'll have to look at that later. Alright, so that pretty much ends that turn. Actually, we'll move these guys. No, I'm going to leave them on the high ground. So let's end our turn. Oh, and they just let loose, and they killed 12 of my guys. And they gained 13 morale, and I lost 10. So I'll leave that to you all to understand what's going on. And it is turn 3. So let's actually rain down some cannon fire. Artillery. They've dug in a little bit. And we killed 81 of their guys. And gained 85 hit point, or 85 morale. You notice the morale up here, you start off with a number, you always want to be higher, and you want your supply to stay up if you can capture spots. Alright, so let's... I might actually move this guy over here. And we'll move these guys up and get them ready. Firepower 15, wow, we really took out a lot of their guys. You'll see up here it's not red, it's this gray color here, gamers. This means that we injured guys and killed them, and they will not be back to fighting. So let's actually soften them up a little bit more. Let's bring these guys over to shoot into them. And we killed 64 more of them with our specialist. So as you notice these numbers, see this guy's looking a little bit more hurt. Their health is dropping, their organization's dropping, and their morale is dropping. Now we compare them to my guys, and we're really ahead of them, so now's the time to attack. We lost 30, they lost 46. We did gain some morale, but we lost 2 firepower each. You want to keep your firepower. But if you notice, we've really brought them down. They're really looking hurt. Their health and organization and morale are still dropping. They were dug in. You do not want to leave them dug in because obviously you're going to get hurt more. Alright, so let's go up here and we're going to dismount the cavalry. And I don't know if this would be a good idea or not, but we got to keep them busy. So we'll send them in there. Alright, they only lost 1 guy. Somehow the artillery is beating the shit out of my cavalry. It happens, but I'm just trying to keep them busy, gamers. And you can notice here, here's what happens when your health really drops. Guys missing a leg, bandaged up. We're kind of despaired. I probably should have backed them away and gave them a target to shoot at. Alright, let's go to the next turn, and they're causing my guys to flee. And notice here the attacker gained 213 supply. So they stole our supply when we ran away. And they are starting to back their guys away. So let's go ahead and move our headquarters up. Base them there.
No, sir.
And they moved right out of the field. I don't think I could shoot them. So that was a smart move on their part. There's a way to look at that in the reports, but I'll cover that when we start on. So I'm going to have to actually pick these guys up and move them. We'll have to wait until next turn. Alright, so we'll use our specialist to pick at them again and kill 38 more of them. And we'll move these guys up. And we'll go to next turn. Oh, whoops. We'll supply our troops up there, and now we're in artillery range. So they actually did something really good. They moved out of range of my artillery. They're running away, and they pretty much have drawn me out. They got my artillery undone, and now they can rain fire down on me. So we're going to have to go up here and be ready, but we actually might be able to... Oh, this unit's so beat up it wouldn't attack a chicken coop. That happens sometimes, so what we're going to do is we're going to dig in, oversupply them. We gave them a different group to look at. As for the supply point, let's see if I can move back over here, and we might be able to capture this city, but I doubt it. Because they still have superiority over raining down on us. But like I said, I'm giving them other tactics. Let's see if we can set up here. Okay, I don't have a shot at them. Nope. Let's see. We'll see if we can kill some of their cavalry. Oh, they actually ran away a little bit. The defensive volley was too much. The attackers withdrew, and all the defenders were barely bloodied at all. Well, shit happens. But we have created another victory point here because we're fighting for that location. Alright, so we'll move these guys up. The turn's going to end, but like I said, I didn't go into this. I just wanted you all to get a gist of the game. We can switch units. Alright. And they're going to hit my guys. We're going to withdraw a little bit. Alright. I actually think on that one you're supposed to pick the south and defend, or the north and defend Kernstown. But it's okay. I just wanted to show you all a little bit of the game. Here's that the Confederacy has suffered a major defeat. We lost 39 men. The Union lost 79. We lost 74 to wounds, 160. So this is kind of what goes on when you're doing the actual battles. But again, I just did this to give you all a gist of what would happen. The victory points is what really bogs down to is who gets the most. If you have more than 3 times your opponent, which they did, because we was dealing with such low numbers, you get a major victory. If you have twice as many, you get a minor victory. If you have around the same, you get I think it's a stalemate. But that's pretty much how the gist of the game goes. Anything else, we'll get in there and involved, and I'll cover it while we're playing. Because like I said, we're going to go into campaigns. We're not going to pick the Eastern or the Big East or the Big West. We're going to go down here and play the Civil War, the big one. Everything involved. On the options, though, let me know if you want me to change anything. Because I know some people might want full visibility so they could see what's going on. Line of sight makes it a little difficult. So, it's all up to you all. Let me know, gamers. This is for you. People have asked for this, and I want you to be happy. So, I'm going to go ahead and let you all go and tell you to have a great day. This is SKS signing off. Good night, gamers.